The lame man who walked again, from Matthew 9, verse 2 to 8, written by Mary Warren, illustrated by Betty Wind. When Jesus taught in Galilee, a lot of people came, because they heard that he could heal the deaf, the blind, the lame, the folks who could not talk at all, and some on stretcher beds, and those with fits and stomach aches, and others with hurt heads. There was one man who could not move. He wept, he wanted so to go to Jesus, to be healed. He watched the others go. His wife went out to ask his friends if they might find a way. "Why, sure," they cried, "we'll carry him. Come, let us go today." They packed a lunch, they grabbed his bed, and started down the road. "Take heart," one laughed, "we'll soon be there. This isn't such a load." "I think I know the house," one called. "It isn't hard to tell. I see a mob of people there, and some are already well." Sure enough, one man had thrown his crutch away in glee. Another shouted out, "My eyes are healed. I see." But when the friends got to the house, they could not reach the door. So many people crowded in. There was no room for more. "Don't give up. We'll find a way. We won't go home," they said. So as they walked around the house, the man watched from his bed. At last one had a clever thought. "Aha, the roof," he cried. "Now hang on tight, and up we'll go." Oh, what a bumpy ride. To hoist the sick man to the roof, they tugged with all their might. A few who stood there watching smiled at this unusual sight. "These tiles are loose. Let's take them off and lower him right down." The startled people in the house jumped back. "Who is this clown?" But Jesus watched how tenderly the friends set down the bed. He saw the sad and worried eyes the sick man had, and said, with kindness in his voice, "My son, your sins I take away." Some people thought, "This cannot be. Is this for man to say? It's only God who can forgive. That right is only his. This man is rather arrogant. Who does he think he is?" But Jesus said, "I can forgive. It's not a bunch of lies. I'll show you what I mean. Young man, fold up your stretcher. Rise." The sick man up and shouted, "Thanks!" He danced around in joy. He hadn't felt so full of life since he had been a boy. He tied his stretcher in a roll. The people watched, amazed. They raised their hands toward heaven high and cried out, "God be praised." What Jesus says is true. Just look, this man whom he forgives is well. Let's hurry back to all our friends. We have good news to tell.